Thursday. What up there? It's your boy, Chef Rodney 117 here, my tokers, jokers, and smokers. Welcome back to another edition of Deliciously Dope's Daily Chronicles. Today, Thursday, March 18th. How y'all feeling? A little hungover because of St. Patty's Day. How you feeling? Nice and green? Green. All right. Well, smoke it up if you got it. Today's episode, we're just going to go right into it. Like, that's how it's going to be today. There aren't going to be any questions. We're going to get down to it. We're going to break it, that executive branch layer. We're going to get to the realness, and we're going to find out why our next guest does what she does. We'll find out why, y'all. Stay tuned. Our next guest, there's my boo-boo. I caught myself putting in the new dishwasher. Our next guest is a strong leader and a very inspirational influencer. Excuse me. With over 19 years of experience within retail, banking, business development, and sales, she's got a wide scope of experience across a variety of roles with the cannabis industry, which has allowed her to gain insight into the cannabis at all levels. That right there, y'all, is beyond successful. Beyond successful, in my personal opinion. And if you disagree with me, well, you're an asshole. It is what it is. But she spearheaded and finalized several international transactions with the cannabis space. Yo, if you're with that and you want to, no, back off. You know what I'm saying? But her experience and extensive knowledge in the industry are invaluable to any business that she's a part of. Now, we all know that this industry is constantly changing and evolving. We don't even know what its final form is yet, y'all. We have no idea. It just fucking started. It just started sprouting, okay? It is what it is. But she's very honored to be a part of having the way, or having the ability to pave the way, for the future of cannabis in Canada and abroad. Being a mom of 3, she has a teenage daughter and 2 twin boys that keep her more than busy on her toes. She runs her own photography business on the side. She does fitness programs supporting women, and she has a passion helping others to achieve great success in anything, y'all. Now, this woman can absolutely tell you what it means to stick to your guns and just kind of set your mind to do something and get that shit done. Y'all, without any other further ado, Miss Angela Fehr. Angela, good morning. How are you?
I am good, Chef Rodney. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Like, it's, you had to find the time. You know, that's the thing. You're like, no, I got you, fam. And I'm like, shit, it's like that. And that's just it. You are the epitome of, if you want to have time, make time. And that vicious tautology that I more than understand as a chef.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And time is money. So
absolutely.
You can't waste your time. Not at all.
Oh no. You got one life to live, you know? And right. Speaking of time, just real briefly, that's the main ingredient that I'm trying to put back into into the culinary scene, you know, via cannabis. Let's put time into things, because here's only the best recipes tell you how long it takes.
True. Very true.
You know what I'm saying? Because you could have a recipe in front of you, but if you don't know how long to cook something, guess what? Terrible recipe. You're going to burn it. The cream won't rise to the top if you feel what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I am very curious, Miss Angela. What led you, like, it's reading that biography is just, it's insane. What haven't you done?
I get asked that often. And I would say, when I started in the legal industry here in Canada, I don't think I was even prepared for where it would take me or what I would do, in all honesty. Maybe anybody that starts in any industry like that, you do not know what is going to come. And I think that's the exciting part of it, the challenge, right, and the unknown, right? But no, I started out about 6 years ago in this industry, and it wasn't even legal here in Canada yet. On the legal side, we were growing, and was taken into sales immediately and internationally, which challenged me. And as most of us know, here domestically in Canada, it is readily available. And seeing it evolve has been an honor. I'm so proud to be a part and to learn and see it grow. And like you said, we have no idea where this is going to go or how far this industry will take all of us, right? So it's exciting. I'm excited to be a part.
Thank you for kind of leading the way. And that's the thing. I'm not sure if you caught it here at Deliciously Dope yet, but real quick, I've been raised by gods and devils in the kitchen, angels and devils rather, okay? And the gods/angels, those were all women, okay? I've had a few male, counterparts and mentors and things like that, and that's fine. Yep. But there's always a catch with them, you understand? They're like, they're nice at work, but they're a raging alcoholic. Or they're nice and they're really good at what they do, but they're a cokehead. With the women, they're just like, listen, I'll tell you this, I'll drink 6 beer and go home. You know what I'm saying? That's what's, women
watch out.
Yeah. No. Women have 2 extremes. Okay. And hear me out. There's women that'll lie straight to your face because they don't know you. And then there's women that'll tell you the truth because they don't know you. I'm still unsure of who I get half the time, so I just treat every woman with respect. It's not fucking hard.
It's probably
you know
smart.
What I mean?
Yeah.
My mama taught me right. I was raised in the South.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where at? Good.
So you got Tennessee, you got Nashville up here, and you got Memphis in here, about 150 miles in the fucking middle of both of them. A little town called McKenzie, Tennessee. My mom had a restaurant there. Well, the restaurant was in Atwood, which it's right there anyways. But yeah, like I said, I worked with a lot of women through the years, and there's a lot of women that can run fucking circles around their male counterparts and then be like, yo, we fucking, that's my point. She's like, yo, I still want you, but let's go you better be good at this. That's, what I'm saying? They'll give you a chance, but damn.
Better be good at something. You got to be good at something.
Right. No, sorry. It's that kind of show. It's it's hard to get up. You feel me? No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, I started off with that.
Yeah. I knew I'd bring it back. I was just trying to figure out how, but that works out great. But no, I have a lot of questions. So here we do the who, what, when, where, and why. But before that, I do have a couple of, I wouldn't say personal questions, but kind of everybody's got that drive. Everybody's got that vibe. They got that reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So mine, we're putting culinary back on the map. We're bringing some importance to it. We're talking mental health. We talk about everything on the show. Mine, I have a question. And this question is based off of a picture that I've seen of yours, if you don't mind. Now, there are these things in the internet space or the kitchen that we call Karens. Okay? They have a specific type of haircut. I seen a picture. I don't think I have to explain that anymore. I seen a picture of you with that same kind of haircut. Now, I'm going to ask you. Oh, no, I love that. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. No, I love that. I'm talking about that short blonde hair that I want to speak to a manager haircut.
Yeah.
Okay. I seen it. And I was curious because I had a thought. I want to know, how did you recover from that haircut? No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But you changed your life though.
I did. You are right. So,
I
Chef
want to know
Rodney,
why.
you bring up a very good point. And when I look back at that photo, it actually, I'm like, not that I disliked the person I was then, that's something to keep in mind. But
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I needed to make a change. You know what I mean? You get to that
Yeah.
point and
You
it
didn't
doesn't
like
matter
where
what.
you were.
Exactly. I did not like where I was. That was not the path that I wanted to further, but I knew that nobody else would make that change for me. I needed to do it myself. And you can take that in every aspect of life.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be you.
Mm-hmm.
And you are right. And that haircut always, it's funny you bring that up because I feel like it looks like a helmet or something on my head.
Yeah.
But no, I did. And it's funny. It started in the kitchen, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
in all honesty. You can run and work out and take care of your body, but if you are fueling from the inside out with things that are not healthy for you as well, it literally, it's going to show, it's going to come
Mm-hmm.
through. So it's sort of a balance. It's a balance of both. It's a balance of ensuring that I have the proper nutrition, the proper foods, but then also working on yourself. And on that
Mm-hmm.
post, I also said, working on yourself
Self-care.
from the inside out. Right.
Yep.
But no, you're exactly right. It took a lot of determination and a lot of consistency.
Thank
as
you.
well. And
Thank you.
cannabis
Yes.
helps.
That's what I was just about to say. So for those of you, the topic of the day was kind of like, hey, working out in cannabis, how do you link the two? So I didn't, I do apologize, but I kind of took a crack at it. I was like, all right, let me get into the the mindset of her and kind of see how it would work. I did. And so then I formed that question. I was like, okay, this has to be, once she answers this question, this will link the two. And lo and behold,
There you go.
I think that's brilliant. I've heard a lot about Reiki work and energy and frequencies and things like that. Chakras is a new one for my 34-year-old self. I might be 34 years old, but I'm a chef and I've been a chef all of my life. My body looks like it's 50. I feel like I'm 60. So it is what it is. I use cannabis because I just want to be able to fucking function, but it is what it is. But you bring up a good point. Exercise is key. Diet is key. Yes, I'm a chef. Does that mean No, that does. No. Calm down. I don't know the Atkins diet by heart. Okay, I do know that if you keep, like wrapping everything in bacon and putting a pound of butter in everything, you're gonna have a heart attack. That's just gonna happen. So if you want to avoid that terrible, fucking Emerald Lagasse meets Paula Deen with a fucking Playboy Mansion party, take off there. Like, I mean, come on, guys. Let's figure this shit out. Use coconut oil. There's healthier, additives here. Why am I fat? Simple. So check this out. I am a chubby man. Okay. I am not fat. I am sought after by women, apparently. I don't know. No, it was a joke. My girlfriend beat their ass. The point is, I'm a smart man. I'd be like, nope. No, real talk. And here's a little bit of a gushy story. My girlfriend is the girl that I've been chasing since high school that I never really actually said like, hey, I'd like to. No, we were cool. We had a lot of the same friends. I was just too much of an asshole. Like it was just, I knew I would break her heart. And I was like, nope. So here, 30 years old, I'm like, hey, we're adults now. I pay taxes. I have kids. She's like, I have a dog. I was like, I was not talking about a dog, but I have one of those too. And she's like, all right. And here we are, 2 years later. So
good for
worked
you.
out, I guess. I don't know. I still think she got the bad end of the stick, but she said I did. So I guess I worked. That's the answer you want to hear. But
that's the point. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Happiness. That's my point. Happiness comes from cannabis. Dude, if I'm feeling bad, I'm smoking weed. I cut my finger open, putting in the new dishwasher. Amazing kitchen. I just bought a new amazing kitchen. It's insane. We're going to start doing videos and it's got to look good, right?
Of course.
Look good.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be cool.
Thank you. But yeah, no. So installed the kitchen, hurt myself, smoked weed. That's my point. I smoke weed to alleviate things that I don't want to feel or things just to relax my mind, to kind of offset so I can do creative writing. That's my thing. Write recipes, cook food. Like I'm just in my zone when I turn on my tunes and I'm like, boom, I'm in the garden. I'm a very busy dude. I did not expect to be this fucking busy. I'm catching up to you. I'm published in 2 magazines now, y'all, and I made the title cover of one of them. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good
I did
for
not
you.
pay for
That's
that.
awesome.
Did not pay for that. I
That's
love
awesome. Love
I
it.
do that flex for my followers, so they can go out and get a hold of it. I've got a few people I'm sending out some autographs to, so that's pretty cool. Don't know why, but they're like, it's going to be good someday. Like, no, you're nuts. Want to know how I know you're high? We
You
just
never
smoked.
know.
Exactly. No, we'll see. No, I hope so. I hope so. I'll get you a copy of it. And just
Love to.
tell me what you think. Like, that's what I would, I would appreciate
Absolutely.
feedback. Writing
Yeah.
is, it's cathartic, man. You know what I'm saying? And I love doing it. Absolutely love doing it. But enough about me and why I smoke weed. I want to know why you smoke weed. So we came up with the W's. The W's, everybody loves to win, right? We don't, losing, you learn lessons, but winning, you got to have a W every now and then. All right. So what we do is we know how you do this, but we want to know who, what, when, where, and why. So we have a couple of, categories. First category is your first time W's. It's just all about your first time. Second, your favorites. Third, your crazies, like, some crazy stories. Everybody has that story, right? And then last but not least, the plan W's. This is what we learned about you up to now presently. What can we expect from you? You see what I'm saying? That gives a lot of perspective. A lot of people, the plan W's are my favorite. They're my favorite. And you'll learn why when we get there. So if you're ready to dive right in,
Let's do it. Let's go.
let's do it. All right. Angela, first time W's. Who, what, when, where, and why? Who was the first person you ever smoked with?
Oh boy. It would have been, and you're going to laugh at me because this is not back in high school. I did not do any of it then. It was in my late 20s, in all honesty, and it was with a group of friends that I worked with.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. We just talked to Sarah Williams out of Alaska Tuesday. Excuse me, yesterday. I mean, it's just days blur together. You're so busy. But she didn't smoke until she was like 34.
It's interesting that for me it was later on, and I wish I would have known about it sooner, to be honest, but it was later on for me. Yep. I'm making up for lost time. I'll tell you that.
Hey,
I'm making up.
There you go. There you go. But if I just sit back and try and count how many joints just the joints that I smoked, you got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, I'm sure I do. I don't know if I'll catch up, but I'll try.
Oh, you'll be all right. Hey, at least you're on the journey. At least you
right.
at least you can, like, it helps you focus, and so that helps.
Yep.
And I heard it's really good for recovery too.
Well, it's amazing. I have so many stories for you on that part of it, on the health side of it, that I can't speak highly enough of it, for sure.
Oh, we're going to get to more of that between the bullet points. So I'll remind you. So I'm actually going to write that down so I don't fucking forget. Recovery. Okay, cool. First time W's, Angie. Who, what, when, where, and why? What was the first thing you smoked? Was it a bong, joint, dab, spliff, a pop can even? What was it?
Actually, you know what? It was a bong, but there was one with an apple. I had it out of an apple. And then there was also... Your
first time. Okay. All right.
Don't laugh at me.
Right. And I'm not. That's a good thing. I mean, many people have to wait for the apple.
And then we did joints. So I was learning to roll them as well. Still not the best at it, but I'm getting better.
I'll be honest with you. So up until, Corona, I just two-piled, roll it. It looks like shit, rip the ends off, smoke it like a Lucky Strike.
That's the thing. Mine don't look as pretty, but at least if the inside is good, that's all that matters to me. I'm like, it's good. It's good product. I'm happy. I'm good too. But I also got like a thing that rolls it for me too, just a little bit. So I have that.
I actually carry around my boy Ruben. What up, Ruben? Herbs. He sent me these things, and it's papers and tips. So, and it's magnetic close. So that's all I'm ever gonna need. So I'll just roll up a boom, whole cones. I'm telling you, like, fill it. I took one. You jumped in the studio. I was taking one down.
I should have had one with me. I don't have one with me. Less I would have. I would have joined you.
No worries. Hey, no worries. We'll do it more than once. First time W's. Who, what, when, where, and why? You said this. When was your first time having a left-handed cigarette? So smoking a joint for the first time. You said it was in the circle here in your 20s.
It was. Yep. It was in my later 20s. Yep. It was. Okay. I mean, I've not always been a smoke, like I'm not a smoker per se, you know what I mean?
Right.
But for cannabis, yeah, I was in my 20s. We rolled the joints. I mean, I'm trying to think of like an interesting story about it, but it was pleasant for me. It was good. Like I felt like I'd been doing it forever. I don't know, does everybody else have that experience? Like it was amazing.
No, absolutely. Sorry. It was. I can remember, like, the cool thing is with asking everybody all of these questions, it gives me a chance to kind of look in hindsight and retrospect at my life and be like, oh, I do remember that shit, which is actually why we do it, because it's therapeutic for me, because I'm a vain asshole. But being a drinker all of my life, one of the things that my brain did was kind of shut off some memories. You know what I'm saying? And it's called like short-term retrograde amnesia or something like that. But seriously, like I just
Seriously?
I quit drinking cold turkey, like stopped.
Gosh.
And that was about 5 years ago. And there's some memories that like they're gone. You know what I'm saying? I'll look at pictures and be like, I don't remember this at all. And like a lot of things like that, like I blacked out, it's just like, but as the years progress, these memories start coming back. They don't like flush me, and like overstimulate me, but some of them are good. Some of them are not good.
Well, you got to remember the bad ones too. Those are good too.
Yeah. So it was funny because like I was kind of just joking around with some friends, and they're like, you know what, just write them down. And I was like, all right. So I started a book.
There you go. That's smart. I like that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how smart it is. Yeah, I don't see anybody reading it. They're gonna be like, nope.
No. You don't know.
I don't know, and I'm gonna. It's never in my life have I ever wanted to be more wrong.
There you go. That's right.
There we go. First time W's, Angie. Who, what, when, where, and why? Where were you when you first smoked the electric lettuce?
I was in British Columbia, in BC.
There you go.
We were right by the water. It was, that's where I was. We were actually at it was at a cannabis conference, actually. Yep. So an interesting fact.
So fitting.
I know. Yeah. From an interesting perspective, though, before I joined the industry, I knew nothing of cannabis. Okay. Just to throw that out there, I started literally from the bottom, and educated myself and experienced, and I just dove right in. So I don't think there's any other way to do it. I didn't just tiptoe. I just dove right in. So
up until that point, you probably just looked at cannabis as like a product. You're like, it's what I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like how I look at drinking. Like, I get it. I know what it does, but I just don't care for it. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Exactly what you just said. You would, I guess maybe alcohol is more acceptable at that time, right? Or whatnot. Mm-hmm. But in all honesty, I never just really dove into it. But now that I'm into it, I will honestly say I'm so more into cannabis and weed than I am even alcohol. I don't even really care to do it to drink that much, if I'm 100% honest. I was going to ask you that, if you combined both, or you strictly are just...
So when I was a cook, growing up to be a chef, and there's a slight difference. There's just more paperwork and years of experience. That's pretty much it. Anybody can call themselves a chef, but did you earn the jacket? That's really where it's at. But, I mixed it with everything. I mixed it with blow. I mixed it with MDMA, mescaline, like whatever I could get my hands on. You know what I'm saying? That did the desired effect. And that mainly was not live anymore, really. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to feel, because feeling hurt. Everything ached, and it was just like days in, days out, 16-hour days, and so it's like, and just all the incessant drama, like there's just for no reason. And then like you'll go to work and somebody's like, yo, there's a tray of brownies. And then like, you're like, all right, cool. But you don't know. And then you eat it. You're like, that's why they're sitting there. And then you finish like an idiot. That's my fault. I finished it. I probably should have, but I finished it. And then like you have to work and you're just rolling on an edible. You know what I mean? So it's just
I know exactly what you mean. But you know what? It's what, the world needs more of this. Mm-hmm. It would honestly, people would be happier. People would, it would literally improve people's lives, in all honesty. And I
It
know a
does
lot of
improve
people,
people's lives.
right? It does. It already does.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it would. And I'm not sure alcohol does the same. So this is, I'm passionate about it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got up to about a fifth and a half of Jameson a night. And that was my water, man. You know, I just boom, 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 you know, and it's, if anybody, you know, who knew me back then, if you needed a shift covered, if you came up to me with, you know, little bit of pot and a fifth of Jameson, yeah, you're getting that shift covered. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. I'm getting paid and I do that. Shit, I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? So it was, that's how it was, man. You know, chef or not, the addiction's real, and it's really bad in the mental health industry. It's really bad in addition to mental health in the industry. And that's what we're doing. What we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get people to creep into it. Everyone there smokes weed. There's a thing called safety meetings, you know, for a reason. But fact of the matter is, you know, we need to educate and help elaborate on why, you know what I'm saying? And talking to people like you is how we do it. That's how we do it. So, I mean, that's,
I agree.
You know, we can't appreciate y'all enough, but
we're trying.
First time W. Right. First time W's, Angie. Who, what, when, where, and why. To kind of neat little bow style for the first times. Why did you do it?
Why did I do it? I'm not one for peer pressure, so it wasn't that. I will stand my ground. I was actually very interested. And the other thing is I had been in the grow ops. I have been, you know, working with the licensed producers. So I have, you know, down to trimming and cloning and all of it. And I had never tried it. And so I was like, you know, if I'm really going to dive into this, I need to experience it for myself. It's almost like somebody trying to sell makeup or alcohol or whatnot, but they don't use it, or they don't, you know what I mean? I needed to know. I wanted to know for myself. And I also had some ailments of my own that I was interested in seeing, hey, how could this help me, right? How could it help my health? How could it help help further me? So I tried it, and I was able to get off even other medications as well. So it's something that is probably one of the main reasons I did it, was to really try it for yourself. Everybody, they want to bash it or say anything about it, but they've never tried it. You need to be able to have, you know, you need to experience it first before you have a voice.
100%, 100%. Yep. And I would like to add to that, if you don't mind, if you've had a bad experience, give it more than one shot. That's my point.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree 100%. And one of the best things I did, and I know this is like, you know, 101, but is, you know, start low and go slow. And I did do that at first. You know, you need to know, and I always say to people too that ask me, you know your body best, right? You know what works for you, and what you may take in the morning may not be what you should take at noon or what you should take in the evening, right? Everybody's different. So find your sweet spot and then go for it. And then when you're feeling like you want to, you know, push that edge a little bit, go for it. You know, do it in a safe spot, or, you know, around who you feel comfortable with, but go for it. There's nothing, you know.
In addition to that, please know that edibles and smoking are two totally different things.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Certain levels of edibles can have a psychoactive effect, very similar to mushrooms for people. There's reports of, you know, vomiting and things like that. That's a no-brainer. It ain't going to kill you. You're not going to die from that at all. But that's kind of doing overboard there for some people. You know what I'm saying? The psychoactive effects. Smoking a joint's not going to have that effect for every, you know what I'm saying? So there's a huge difference between smoking, even concentrates. That's a whole different high. Yeah. You know, so you have to understand these are different things, but they all kind of have the desired effects in the end.
Yeah. I agree 100. You couldn't have said it better. I agree 100%. And that's where a lot of what I've done in the industry here is a lot of educating on that, right? Because a lot of people just don't understand, and they're not familiar with it. They sort of combine it all into one, you know, and it's not. It's very separate products and formats, and it's very important. Exactly what you said.
I appreciate it. You know, I kind of, that's what I tell people. You know, I have a lot of people calling me. They're like, hey, man, so CBD, what do you know? I'm like, haha, you know, and I'm just dropping knowledge on them. And I
Yep.
was like, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. I'm joking. But, you know, I have a lot of people like, hey, seriously, like I had to I have to, you know, turn my phone off, you know, during the shows and when I'm doing stuff. And like, it's, I'm on the phone a lot, you know, and just educating people, helping them learn more. And I can't do it by myself. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's crazy because I'm learning this too. So it's just the mentorship that I really, really, really appreciate. And what you can't really pass forward a mentorship or continue really in the industry if you don't smoke. So the reason why you did
Absolutely.
it absolutely makes sense.
Yep. I
So,
wanted to know what I wanted
oh
to be
yeah,
able to speak to what I was a part of.
you got
Right.
to feel
So
it. You got to feel it.
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't regret it one bit. It's the best decision I ever made.
That's a good
Absolutely.
decision. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So before we get into the favorite W's, I want to circle back to recovery. We were talking about smoking as for recovery after a workout. You want to explain to us why that's good?
I would say for me, and yet again,
Mhm.
everybody's bodies are different, right? Everybody's at a different stage in your fitness and your health. But I would say for me, it's on the recuperation a little bit. It's on
Oh
that,
yeah.
you know, when you start off into that fitness or that workout, and I love doing it, right? So that for me is almost like therapy in and of itself.
Mhm.
But getting into that mode, you need to be able to get yourself down from that as well. So a lot of times
Mhm.
I will take something before my workout as well, just to give me
Okay.
that boost. And then when it's time to bring your body down or relax or take a bath or whatever you're doing after that workout, is to give something for your body to comfort it. And for me, it's more of like a relaxing, calming strain that I will do, that will then ease me off into, you know, into to sleep. But I prefer a lot of times to work out in the evening. So if you're more of a daytime or a morning,
Mhm.
then, you know, you could take something after to get you back up and going too, right? But for me, it's important. It literally is something that, and so many people complain about not sleeping well either, right?
Right.
And what people don't understand is sleep is so important. And with cannabis, every night I sleep like amazing. I can't even tell you. And I think that's what actually fuels you then throughout the day to be able to do the things that you do want to do. Everybody complains that they're, oh, I get this, you know, this big crash in the afternoon or whatnot, right? Well, instead of
Mhm.
turning, or a headache or a migraine, but instead of turning to, for me, the change was instead of turning to something pharmaceutical, I
Mhm.
want something that's going to do other things for my body as well, right? So in a roundabout way, that's why I do it after and even before a workout as well.
You said doo doo.
Man, what is that? What? I did not mean to say
I'm a
that.
child. I'm a child. I'm a child. No, it's interesting that you say that because yeah, recovery is important, obviously.
Yeah.
Be careful of green outs, y'all. So a green out is when you smoke weed and you're kind of, you know, let's say you just got running or like your heart's pumping and your blood's thin, you know, it's thin.
True.
If you
True.
smoke weed, weed's gonna is a vasodilator. It's gonna you might pass out a little. It happens. It's unfortunate, but kind of just read your body. If you're like, hey, I'm gonna wait off in a second and breathe deeply, that's a whole different thing. If you know what you're doing, don't let me talk to you. I'm not trying to mansplain it. I'm just trying to warn people that greenouts do happen more frequently in like in a situation such as that.
And
So
that
please
is
do this
it.
and dose accordingly. Sorry.
Very good point that you brought that up, because I did not do that when I first started either. Like, it's not something to say, hey, this is my, you know,
Right.
my first month into this. Oh, I'm going, you know, I'm going after it. No, it took me a while. Like, it took me a while to get to know what works for me. And I think that's what is so
Right.
important, is do what works for you. You know your body. So do what works for you, but don't be scared to try it, at least in my
Mhm.
opinion. But, you know, start low and go slow and work your way to your perfect dose, right?
You got it. You got
Yeah.
it. And in order for us to better get to know you, we created this next section called our favorite W's, just about your favorite shit. So we're going to kind of get into the mind of Miss Angie here and find out what she smokes, how she does it, and kind of, you know, why. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Miss Angela. Favorite W's, who, what, when, where, and why? Who is your favorite person to smoke weed with?
I would say I do it alone most of the time. I
That's
like
fine.
to be fully honest with you, I like to do it alone, or when I am with, so working in the industry, I have a lot of industry friends. When we all get together, what I love about it
Yeah.
is everybody has something different. So we get to try what everybody has. So I would say it's probably, that would be my most favorite other than myself. I just always do it with myself, but
You know,
I like the
there's a
variety.
running joke for that question because people are like, alone. I've started calling that Snoop Dogging the question because remember that award ceremony he was doing? I forget which one it was, but he was like, and last but not least, I'd like to thank me. You know what I mean?
That's actually good.
I was just like, you know what? Screw it. So Snoop Dogging that question is absolutely fine.
Okay. I'm like, is that
It's
boring? Is
absolutely
that
fine.
sad? I don't know, but
No. It's just be mindful of what you have at stake. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because if you're in a relationship and you say that question and you don't answer that person's name, you about to have a lot to
Nope.
explain for it. I'm just saying.
No, but I do say that though, seriously, I think it's fun when there's a group. I mean, I know with COVID, it's a bit different now, but I like to be able to try the different options.
And there's things out there that'll help you with COVID too. There's these mouthpieces. I know y'all can't really see mine because it's green, but you can kind of see the shape. It looks like a big, elongated nipple, but it's got a filter in it. That's the filter right there. And so what you can do is you can actually, like, if you've got a piece and it's being passed around, just put it over it and your mouth's not on it.
Cool.
And you can do that for joints and spliffs and all kinds of stuff. Dude, go to mooselabs.com. It's called the mouthpiece. Yeah, like isn't peas. Definitely check it out. It's amazing. I always buy my filters. They get you the stickers. They have all kinds of colors. It's pretty, dude. You'll like it. It comes with a lanyard, so you just wear it if you're going somewhere to smoke. Yeah, it's smart, and it filters it with a charcoal filter. I'm not suggesting selling that at all. I'm telling you, I own one, and they're badass. Go get one. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Thank you.
That's one of my favorite things. Speaking of favorites, favorite W's, who, what, when, where, and why. What is your favorite way to consume cannabis?
Oh, I know you're going to ask me this, and it's so boring for me, but I'm going to be honest with you. I am an oil girl. Okay. I love smoking. I don't mind doing a dab. I'll do all those, but in all honesty, I love to do oil. So I have a variety. Actually, I do balanced CBD, THC. That is probably my favorite way for daily. I would say for daily. That's my favorite way.
I have a few ways. I have a couple of vape pens over there. I have some brownies here I could eat. I've got, my tray of diesel cookies that I grew myself here. And then I've got my dab tray over here it's just full. So, I mean, I feel you.
But
sometimes
I saw
I could feel it. Yeah.
Your episode with the magical butter. So I have one as well. And I would almost say that's probably my second. I'm making butter. I'm making a ton of stuff. Like I'm really getting into that too, but it goes back to what you said about being careful, because my oil, I can't take the same amount that I can do with that dose compared to something that I'm making. Right. But I would say, that baking stuff in the kitchen is probably my close second, like right there. Not that bypasses smoking.
Oh yeah. We're going to have some videos where you can absolutely smoke and kind of cook along with me or watch too, because I'm going to walk people through how to do it.
Exactly.
Too many people have asked me to do it. And so I sunk the money into my kitchen, y'all. I bought new appliances. Dude, my girlfriend did the backsplash herself. Like I left to go do something, came back, is done. And then I was like, well, I tried to get in there and help. And like, she's like, just move. I was like, what? What do you want me to do? She's like, nothing. And so I was like, that's a trap. I know it's a trap. It's a trap. So I installed the appliances. I caught myself, and now it's hilarious to her. That's great. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I love
she sounds like a keeper. You got to keep her.
She is. She puts up to my shit. Yeah, of course. She's so much prettier than I am. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, right?
It is a good thing. You're lucky.
Every W, Angela. Who, what, when, where, and why. When do you enjoy smoking weed the most?
I would say morning and evening, probably morning and
Okay.
evening. Yeah. Awake and bake, and then probably at night as well after a workout or something.
Okay.
That's my
I like
ideal.
to I like to Motley Crue my morning, kickstart my heart, if you will.
There you
You know?
go.
That's a damn good song. That's a damn good song.
This is a good one. No, there you go. I like it.
Favorite W's, who, what, when, where, and why. Where? Because everybody knows a place. Where is your favorite place to smoke weed?
The garage.
Good with that.
I saw a commercial about this once where they're talking about moms that are like in the garage smoke, like whatever. It was hilarious, but yeah, that's where I do. I like it. It's like
Get
just
it.
my time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I get it. All right. Favorite W's, Angie. We're almost done with them. Neat little bow answer. Who, what, when, where, and why. Why do you smoke weed?
I would say it's I started this, well, obviously within starting in the industry, but after I had my twins, I needed something. I needed I first I wasn't sleeping well. It does go back to more medicinal for me. That's where I first started, and it honestly, like, that is why I would say, you look at a lot of the habits that you do day to day, and those are the things 5 years down the road that are going to make you or break you where you are at.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear, starting with cannabis, it was like I needed a change. I needed something. And not only did it help me with that aspect, but it helped me almost in every aspect of my life. Your health, your sleeping, my mood, the way that I handled stress. Like, that is the reason why I'm in cannabis. And I think I'm proof of that it works. You can use it for medicinal, you can use it for recreational. I use it for both. I want to feel good, I want to look good, but I also want to have fun. So I think having a balance of that, I can do that with cannabis. That's why.
I fucking love it. I mean, that's I couldn't put it more. Yeah, there you go. You want a simplified version? There you go. You can literally use it for everything.
Yep.
Your body has an endocannabinoid system. It does not have an Irish whiskey system. I don't care what yesterday was. You know what I'm saying? I just celebrated green yesterday. That's all I did. That's all I did.
I did too.
And I'm
I did
Irish.
too.
You know how many people? Because I got an Irish flag hanging, in my front lawn, and everybody made sure to say hi to the one guy. It was weird. It was
That's
weird.
hilarious. That's awesome.
It is. I was just like, I had to put that up for you to say anything to me. I don't want to deal with you. No, I'm joking. I love them. They're great neighbors. I couldn't ask for better neighbors. I'm kidding. Speaking of crazy things sometimes, our next section is the crazy W's. Now, this is the who, what, when, where, and why of just like, there was this one time that you just, went overboard, went crazy. You ready?
Oh boy. Shoot, go.
Crazy W's, Angie. Who, what, when, where, and why? Who was with you the first time you just got way too high?
I would say it was probably my sister. And I think I went too much, and or actually maybe with her, but also with a friend of mine, a close girlfriend. And I did, like, I thought and this is where it's like, if you have a first bad experience, don't let it ruin it for you. Just like what you said, because it was overwhelming for me. I felt like the room was moving. Like, I mean, and I know everybody's got these crazy stories, and we were not home. We were out at dinner. And I had to, it was edibles too. It wasn't right. So, and I had to walk out of there, and I knew people that were there, and it was not, but the funny thing is I was laughing the whole time. So it wasn't like I was, drunk, puking or whatnot. No, I was laughing. Everything was hilarious, but and that's the fun part. That's not the bad part, but I could barely walk. So that's where I always say, like, you just want to make sure that you're in a safe place if you do that. But I would say I was out to dinner, and the edibles kicked in like big time. Because what happens is with edibles, you think, oh, I take one in an hour, I'm not feeling anything, I'm going to take another one, right? Oh yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, I made it out, but everything was moving, and luckily I did have somebody with me that could help me. But it's not super crazy, but that's what it was. I was out to dinner, and yeah, I had way too much. What about you? Because I'm sure yours is way better than mine.
So and this is actually, I'm writing this in my book. My boy D-Rock, like normally, like I had to take him to work because he got into a car accident, and I took him to work, and then like I had to pick him up and take him home because I had to work. Well, I actually got the day off. It's like I went into work, and the chef was like, "Don't worry about it. Like labor's high anyways." He's like, "Do you want the day off?" He's like, "I'll give you the day off for taking him, taking him back and forth." I'm like, "Shit, all right, whatever." And he's like, "I'll throw you some money. Don't worry about it." So I was like, "Shit, all right." Because he knew I couldn't afford to take the day off, but at the same time, like, yeah, I would love it. So to celebrate, we went to the dispensary, and this is my first like dispensary like run, and I knew how I made edibles. Okay, so I'm thinking there's no way they can make them better than I do. Like I throw a lot in, I thought. Well, there's a whole thing on decarboxylation, and I was doing it wrong and all that shit. So I knew it. I thought I knew what I was doing. I didn't. Anyway, I mean, they worked. They just didn't work as good. So he gets this Fruity Pebbles like Rice Krispie treats bar. It's 100 milligrams for the whole bar. That doesn't seem like a lot for some people. They're like, I do that in the first hour I wake up. I'm like, that's great. But like, I don't.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I'm not used to it. And so, I mean, I could smash my brownies left and right, but like, it wasn't the same. I wasn't decarboxylating it. I was losing, whatever.
Yep.
So he goes here and breaks off most of it and just hands it to me. I'm like, oh, cool, man. Just put it in the wrapper. He's like, nah, man, you got to eat it. I was like, fuck it. Nom, just whole thing. I was like, it's a Rice Krispies treat. What can it do to me? We went to the store. Okay. I was like Meijer or something like that, which is like a grocery store here in Michigan.
Yep.
And I grabbed a few things because I was like, screw it, I'm going to buy some snacks. I'm going to be hungry when I get home and get the munchies. I got nothing to do. I'll just play Xbox or some shit. So I take, go to the store, I take him home, and I drive all the way back to Lansing. I was like, oh no, when's the edible going to kick in? And I'm like, it's been like an hour, dude. And I pull in my driveway, lock my car alarm. You had to walk around my house to get into the front. And like, I opened the front door, and as soon as I opened the door and stepped in, like it just, oh no, this is not edibles, is it? I was like, did he buy something with mushrooms? Like I was just there was so many questions in my head. And so I called him. He's like, it hit you, didn't it? I was like, yeah. He's like, you should be feeling pretty good. I was like, dude, and it threw me into a panic attack. So luckily, like, look what life did. They're like, yeah, luckily that didn't happen in Meijer, man. I mean, that would have been bad. I've been like hiding in the, bathrooms, just rocking back and forth. I don't know. It wasn't that bad. It really, but at the same time, like it was more than I expected, and it triggered a panic attack. And I was like, I don't have these. What are you talking about? And then that's how I got. Yeah, it does. That's how I got diagnosed with anxiety, smoking weed. So I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Well, eating weed, really, but
it's too funny.
It is. Crazy W's, Angela. Who, what, when, where, and why? What pushed you over the edge?
I would say probably like desperation a bit. I think, and it sounds so serious, but it is. It's when you get to that point where, you do want to change in multiple areas of your life or whatnot. And you get to that point, and I've heard stories about how it, helped people, or how, you got to try this, you need to let loose a little bit. You need, whatnot. I would say that's probably what pushed me over a bit, was to try it. And for myself, I don't always just take pressure. I just don't take what everybody says. I want to experience it too, right? I want to know, so then I can speak to it confidently as well. So I would say that's probably, a bit of, I want to know. I want to know, and I'm going to, still be smart about it, but I want to experience it myself.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we do drugs, right? That's just,
I don't agree with. I'm not condoning drugs.
Neither am I. But
I know what you mean. But
my life, right?
But what I would say is too, so many people, especially on like, not just an executive level, but like a legal level, or like, they talk about gateway, right? It's not like, that's where it's like, my sort of passion is like normalizing this a little bit. It needs to, and deserves to be normalized. It does. Everything has its boundaries and has its, its rules and whatnot, but this deserves and needs to be normalized. I feel so.
I so much so I so wholeheartedly agree with that, and so much so that like I've had a few people come to me with cancer. And they're like, I have some questions. And I was like, I have a billion answers. What do you want? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I wasn't like that, but I know these people on a personal level. So it was like, I knew how to attack this really, and so they're like, is it true that marijuana cures cancer? I was like, I cannot give you a definitive yes or no. What I can do is show you all the case studies and show you the evidence.
Yep.
That was, quite a few months ago. That was like last year. I think actually not really around this time. I think it was more like the summer, but I've heard nothing but positive things. I don't want to say that it went into remission, but I heard a bunch of positive things because of his cannabis use. I think he's actually I think he's almost done, or he is done, or something good. I know it's really, really good. I just, because I haven't really spoken to him, because it's just like, he's busy with all of that. His life is like, he's working now, man. Like he's, whole different person.
Quality of life. Absolutely. Yeah. You know what? You hit it on the nail there. This is where my focus is as well, is to have a multifaceted where, yes, you can have it and be recreational and have fun. I love it. I'm all about it. But you can also have it where it can actually help and improve your quality of life. And that's where I think people just are so confused by having both of those options, that it can do both. And that's where it's like one quick little thing for you too is, back in the day, I had a certain skin condition. I don't know if you've heard of psoriasis, but I had it just on my elbows. And I went to my doctor. He gave me the steroid cream to use for it. First off, it was crazy expensive. And after I read on the label, after overuse, it may cause cancer and it thins your skin, right? And a girlfriend of mine was making cannabis cream. I literally within months went off of that cream and have off of that steroid cream and have yet to have any of those skin conditions come back since I've been on cannabis. You can't tell me that is just chance. It works. And that is where I hope, as the industry evolves on both levels, recreational and medicinal, that we get the support in the industry that we deserve from both sides. And I hope we get there to that point where, talking about the medical research, talking all of that kind of stuff would play a part in normalizing cannabis.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But, with normalization, or a return to normalcy, if you will, we always have those crazy things happen. Speaking of crazy things, Angela, crazy W's, who, what, when, where, and why. When did this happen?
You mean like my first, like, what do you, like, do you mean the first
attack? Like when you, yeah.
Okay. So this happened, this would have been about 4 or 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago. This happened to me. I have not had that happen in forever. Even trying some new formats here, like just for me and myself, I still have not had that happen since, but, it happened probably twice to me. And I would say it's about 4 or 5 years ago. And that's where, don't let it ruin it. If that's what happens to you, it's okay. You can get past it. I did. I got past it and found my perfect match. But yeah, I would say 4 years ago, 4.5, 5 years ago. Yeah.
Moving forward, crazy W's, who, what, when, where, and why. Where did this take place?
Well, it was at a restaurant. So we were out to dinner. And that's another thing. I probably wouldn't suggest that your first few times. Right. Just like what you said about walking into the store, like it could hit you. You don't know when it's going to hit you, right? Especially if it's a format that you're not used to taking either, right? So for me, I wasn't home. So it happened at a restaurant. Oh, no. It would have been better if it was home, but my friends got a good laugh out of it. They still laugh about it till this day at my expense. It's all good.
They're laughing with you.
Don't mind. There you go.
All right. Well, let's wrap the crazy stories up in a neat little bow. Why did it happen?
I would say because I didn't follow my own rule by starting low and going slow, but I was eager to do it, and I was impatient, because you get impatient. You want that feeling, right? You want to get to that level, and then it's like you take more. And I would say that's probably why it happened. I was impatient. I should have been more patient.
That's what it's about, you know, patience. And with patience comes kind of perseverance over time. Perseverance over time teaches you patience in my mind. You know, I look at things and I'm kind of like, let's make a goal. Let's obtain that goal. Well, all right. I'm not setting something that's unobtainable. I'm setting something that's, you know, to me, it's insane. Like that's the farthest I would go. Then I obtain it. I'm like, oh shit. And then just keep moving forward. It's about growth, y'all. You know, it's about spending this time wisely as we've talked to, you know, Miss Angela today. And what better way to know how to spend her time wisely, or our time wisely rather, than figuring out how she's going to, you know, continue her cannabis career. I mean, she just started smoking, y'all. Let's find out what she's got plans for, which leads us to our last and perhaps the best little topic of discussion, the Plan W's. Angela, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Plan W's: who, what, when, where, and why? Who do you wish you could smoke with, dead or alive?
I would say alive would be Snoop Dogg. I would love to. Yeah, I think I would say Snoop actually, probably, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Plan W's, yep. Angela, who, what, when, where, and why? What would you smoke with Snoop Dogg?
Oh, boy. Well, my favorite strain is Ghost Train Haze. But I don't know what his is. I mean, I don't know. I would say probably Ghost Train. That's my favorite.
I'm sure he'd do it. I'm sure
he would. He'd probably have something better. He could show me something better.
Like, take a hit of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
What is that one line? I'm sure you watch Trailer Park Boys. He's like, he's like, shove that in your pie hole and tell me it's not the birth of Christ. I was like, J-Rock, that's my homie. That's my homie.
They're hilarious. That's awesome.
Yeah. So check this out. If you're a Trailer Park Boys fan, we're actually going to have the Jacob Rolfe, a.k.a. Jake Collins, on the show. Confirmed.
No way.
Yeah. He actually, it was really cool because he actually sent me an autograph picture. That was really cool.
That's awesome.
Charlie, I gotta flex that because he's such a fucking great guy. He really is.
He is.
Love you,
Good
buddy.
laughs.
Love you, buddy. And you guys got to check out my boy Plywood doing his Plywood Mind thing. Check it out in the link on our Instagram. It's our link tree. We just use that as a website. He's got Plywood Mind on there. He's doing a DSB TV. I think I said that wrong. He'll hate me later, but keep an eye for him on Letterkenny, y'all. Like he makes his presence known without even having to say anything. I mean, you can't be a better actor than that. Interpretation is all of what it's about, right? Plus, he's got a lot of awesome mental health things to say, y'all. He's fucking killing it. I'm proud of him. You know, keep an eye on Plywood. You're going to want to see where this kid goes. Speaking of planning things and keeping an eye on things, Plan W's: who, what, when, where, and why. Angela, when would you like this to take place?
Yesterday. No, I would say.
There we go.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, all right.
No time like the present.
No time like the present. I feel it. Well, Plan W's, Angela, who, what, when, where, and why. Everyone knows a place. Where would you smoke with him if you got to smoke with him tomorrow?
You know what? The place wouldn't matter. I wouldn't care. I'd say I'd be there. You tell me where, I'll be there.
All right. Okay.
I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I thought about that.
He walks up in the garage. He's like, hey, yo.
Oh, I'd say, yeah, I'd be all over that.
Do it. Let's do it. He just rolls up with a posse. He's like, no. I'd love to smoke. Absolutely. I got a lot of questions. Like, you know, we would talk about a lot of things. You know, I don't want to bore him with anything. I just, you know, what's up, Snoop? You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. Like, you know,
I listened to Martha Stewart and Bruce Linton at one of the conferences in person were speaking, and they were talking about Snoop, and it's so interesting. Like I've been so intrigued, like with what he's been doing. Yeah, it'd be cool.
He's just got energy about him.
Seth Rogen would be another one. Oh, yeah. I think, right? I mean, He was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. You know damn well, like Snoop would be like, "Hey, let me call my boy," and Seth just walks up. You're like, "Ah, shit, this is cool. This is cool."
It would be cool, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of Plan W's, let's find out. Excuse me. Let's find out why it would be cool. So, Plan W's: who, what, when, where, and why. To put it in a neat little, presented little fluffy bow on top of everything that is Angela today. Why would you smoke with Snoop Dogg / Seth Rogen?
I would say because there'd be way more experience than I am. And I think they could teach me some things. I like it.
That's fair. It's all about learning. The day,
Yep.
my grandfather used to tell me, and my dad still tells me, a day that goes by that you haven't learned anything new is a waste of a day.
I agree.
They also told me that I'll be 90 years old and in a wheelchair and you still won't be able to beat my ass. So it's kind of like where you want to land between those two is where I've become comfortable in life. I've really gotten to know you, kind of like where you started, why you started, and just kind of like, I see, I was baptized by bong water is kind of like what I say. That's kind of like I was an alcoholic and then, waterboarded, I guess, if you will. And so it's good to hear that other people have a similar story to mine and that it's helped them kind of change their path in life too. Many times have we looked back and going, holy shit, if I still would have been going that way, I would have crashed, and we look at these lucky things in life that are just like, hey, like 10 more inches, I'd be missing an eye, crazy shit that's happened. And setting goals, setting obtainable things, and sitting down and kind of spreading the awareness and spreading the word by doing this is very important. And again, Angela, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I had a blast.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that like what you're doing, just encouraging, other women to work in cannabis, and just encourage them to get, I think that's fucking, it's very commendable. It's one of the we need more of it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugar. We need a lot more of that. The fact that, we have to acknowledge that and the fact that it doesn't already exist is a goddamn shame. You understand? That's where I'm going with that. And I'm right there with you. I can't call myself a feminist because it's not fair. I heard. So but at the same time, I support it. I support, people being strong for not only just themselves, but the people around them, and with that, there's one thing that I've learned, and that's to be kind. You put out that positive energy, you're going to get it back.
That you are, Chef Rodney, you are 100% right. It is one of, I would say, probably the most forefront thing for me is I do not want to be successful by stepping on people around me. I want to build the people up next to me and bring them with me. And that includes women. And that is, and I will tell you this as well. I've had so many great experiences with men and leadership, and I have nothing bad to say. Like, it's been a good experience for me so far, but you're exactly right. We need more of this, and that's my goal. That's my passion. So
I fucking vibe that. I love that shit. But again, Angie, thank you so much for coming on the show today, guys. It was a fucking pleasure. If anybody wants to follow you, how can they get a hold of you?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook, so that is where you can find me, Angie Fehr. So feel free.
Get it down. And little exclusive premiere for all of our fans out there and watchers. Make sure you pay attention to this face because you're going to see more of it in Deliciously Dope TV. That being said, my smokers, my tokers, and my jokers, I'm your boy, Chef Rodney 117. This has been another edition of Deliciously Dope's Daily Chronicles. I'll see y'all Tuesday. Peace.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.